Welcome back. It is 1523, I believe, or 33. What year is it? 1533. Just kidding. It's 1533. And yeah, I don't even remember what we did last time. There is that in 1532. Let's see. We had some marriages. Beatrice left the house. Lots of our sons are definitely starting to get further on in their relationships too. So let's come over here. So we have a few things historically happening this year. So Henry is finally going to forcibly annul his marriage and marry Anne Boleyn. Princess Elizabeth will be born and Princess Mary will pass away. That's Princess Mary from the previous generation, not the current Princess Mary, of which there are too many people with the same name. Anyway, let's roll for some of these people, except as it turns out, my laptop screen is small. So we have Aislena Light, can't get an 8 or a 16. She survived. Then we have Arnold Light, who can't get a 7, 14, or 19. Ooh, that was a little close. Rosamund Larkin, that's one of our fair babies with Elaine. Can't get a 7 or a 13. Ooh, that was also close. And is she going to get married? No, 1 through 5. She is going to get married. Children, 4. All right, Rosamund. Rosamund Larkin is going to have 4 children. Let's move this up here. All right. Very exciting. I'm glad that some of our children are getting married. Oh gosh, okay. Cesaria Larkin becoming a young adult this year. She can't get a 3 or an 18. Oh my gosh, what if she died? She survived. And then Violet Larkin, who is Tobias's wife, has to get at least an 8. She does. All right. No deaths this year. How lucky are we? Alrighty, so let's hop into the game and get some of this stuff going because we are definitely going to start having to marry off our children shortly. Alrighty, so my game already crashed once today, so here's hoping that it holds out. But the first thing is we know that it's Rosamund's birthday. Unfortunately, she aged up without us, so what I did was I moved her into the household so we can start playing with her. And then I am giving her a makeover right now so that we can have her coming out ball, and then hopefully we'll just, forget about the part where we actually didn't see her birthday. So there is that. And then, oh my gosh, you will not believe this because it's so funny because I already started playing this day. I got like halfway through the day before my game crashed, and I of course didn't save. But when I came into the game, would you believe, now you guys have to tell me if you saw this, but apparently Cesaria was pregnant with Thomas's baby. Did anybody notice them woohoo? Because I didn't, and I was like, absolutely not. He's in love with Rebecca, and absolutely not. So that happened, but I took it away. It's like it never happened. But I wanted you to know because I found it very strange, and I did not notice them woohooing, and they didn't have any romantic relationship. So I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so we have our Sims here. We have Rosamund working on her coming out ball. She's actually a loner, so this whole thing is making her a bit uncomfortable. Also, I don't know where Gabriel got a second estate from, but I'm going to cheat that away. But yes, so Rosamund is not having a particularly good party. She is chatting with people and feeling kind of uncomfortable. So there is that, but what you gonna do? So she is doing her best to at least dance with her brother there. She is not happy, though. You can see that look on her face. She is not into it. And for some reason, both her and her brother had a crown royal trait. So I think that maybe Elaine must have aged up and gotten the monarch trait or something. And that's why her kids have the crown royal trait. But I got rid of that. And then and there's Siobhan. Siobhan is dying soon in a couple of years. I was like, wow, she looks old. But she has been working really hard, raising the kids and everything, and she has been taking good care of Rosamund and making sure that she's, good for having, her coming out ball and joining society and everything. So Rosamund is feeling pretty confident. Unfortunately, she did not get a good grade on her coming out ball. I don't know why. We did complete the main task, but it did still say that it didn't go well. And then, yeah, so I think that Rosamund, she's beautiful. She is just like very ladylike. I think she'll do a good job, even if she is a bit of a loner. I think that she is uncomfortable with that, but like other people are enamored by her, if that makes sense. So there is that. And then the next thing that we're going to do now that her coming out ball is finished, I'm actually going to send her to present to the queen so we can see what the Regency Romance mod says. And then also we can see here, why are you always glitching? Why are my Sims always glitching? This game is sometimes a problem. Look at him. What are you doing? I'm just going to get out and come back. Okay, so what I wanted to do was have Thomas speak to Tobias. And of course, now they're apparently doing that. So, and Thomas, your birthday isn't supposed to be tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so he's talking to Tobias, and he's basically, because, you know, he doesn't really have an adult in his life that can help him anymore. I mean, he's got his brother, but, you know, so he is talking to Tobias, who is his step uncle and is very helpful. You know, he's a diplomat. He's very established in society. And he's basically going to say to Thomas, you know, I'm having this problem. Like, I'm in love with this girl. Her name is Rebecca. Her parents are really worried about money. How did you get electrocuted, Olivia? How? Um, so he's basically telling Tobias his problems and that he is worried about it. And you know, Tobias is like, well, is there any way that, like, you know, they can make money? And he's like, well, she's just a really great painter. And he tells Tobias this, and he shows Tobias the painting. And Tobias is basically like, well, maybe I can recommend her for like a patron of the arts position, and she can get involved in the charities and stuff, and maybe that can help, like, you know, get her paintings out there, and then also like see where it goes. So Thomas is really excited. If, you know, Rebecca has the ability to make money for her family, then they'll be in pretty good shape. Maybe they'll say yes to them getting married and everything. So he is pretty happy about after talking to Tobias about that. So then he's going to go over to Rebecca's family to come and talk to them about the proposition and basically be like, look, you guys don't have to worry about getting money from some rich old guy. Like, you can make your own money. And Rebecca is just such a talented artist, and she's so happy that he recognizes how talented she is and that he believes in her. And so she's like, yes, like, let's get married. And she's really excited about that. And her parents are just like, absolutely not. Work, first off, work. Second off, second off, if Rebecca is making the money, she can just walk away. Like, she can get married and have her own household and everything and walk away from this family, and we're going to be out of luck. So Thomas is like, you know, she would never do that. She loves you guys so much and blah, blah, blah. And her parents are just like, absolutely not. Like, you think you found the solution, but it's not really a solution. She doesn't even have the position yet. Like, you have no proof that this is going to work, and we're running out of time to marry her off. And so they're basically rejecting the whole thing. And Thomas is just, you know, very upset because he wants this to work out. He is in love with Rebecca. He wants her parents to recognize that they belong together and everything, but it's just not. Why are you so glitchy? Why is this camera so glitchy? But he's just really upset that it's just not working, where he's trying to find solutions and they keep getting shot down. And so he just doesn't know what to do. So he's going to head home. Everyone's in a pickle right now. Meanwhile, back home, what we're going to do is not freeze to death in your bathing suit, but is to invite Lawrence Gainsford over again. So keep in mind, remember, Lawrence is second in line for a marquee position. Currently, his nephew does not have any children because he is still a child himself. So there is a possibility that he could inherit, but there's also a possibility that he could not. And he had a deal with Gabriel about one of Gabriel's daughters marrying him. And so, honestly, we have no proof of this. He came by after Gabriel died, and Gabriel II is kind of, you know, he was like 13 or something. Like, he didn't know how to refute such a thing or even question it. So he was just like, yep, pick a sister. So the girls are all talking to him. We know that Olivia is currently in love with someone else, Lucas. So she is not really interested in him, but she's being polite by entertaining him. Rosamund is 13. So she has just arrived on the scene, and while I think that he wouldn't say no, I still think it's kind of creepy. But then there's Cesaria, who has no prospects, and everybody hates her, and so she is working overtime trying to get on Lawrence's good side. She is trying so hard to get in the zone with him, and it's kind of funny because like she's trying, and like then they'll be doing well, and then a negative, and then well, negative. Like it's just so funny to me that like she really is trying so hard, and it's like sort of working, but not very quickly, and they have bad compatibility. But she's going to try a different approach. So she's going to start flirting with him. So she's just basically going to be like, I'll be such a good wife, and I'm a well-bred lady, and you can count on me. And she just kind of gets a little flirty, little sexy pose, and um she's a gorgeous lady. Like, he should be lucky. So it's going pretty well. And actually, I didn't even do anything. I just asked them to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And then Lawrence actually proposes. And of course, she's going to accept. So Lawrence has chosen Cesaria. I don't think that he's too fussed about which daughter it is. And, he can tell that Cesaria is in a situation where she is going to kind of buckle to whatever he wants. So they're going to announce to Gabriel that they've decided and that they're going to get married, and that Gabriel's going to turn over her dowry, which we do have money for now, which is really good. Arthur has been doing such a good job at getting money through our business, and then also Gabriel has been building back up the estate that we had lost in the bets. So everything is going pretty well in that scenario. Meanwhile, Cesaria is going to start baking her birthday cake so that she can actually age up into a young adult. And then Thomas just aged up into a regular adult, which I feel like doesn't make any sense. And then when I tried to age him back down to a young adult, he turned into an elder. And then I was very scared for a moment that he was going to die due to some glitch. And so then I made him a teenager again. So anyway, he should be in good shape. Okay, so it's Cesaria's birthday, and I tried to get everyone to sit around the table to have her birthday with her, but they just don't want to. And you know what? Honestly, I don't blame you. Half of you are her enemies. So Cesaria is actually looking forward to getting out of the house where everybody is not getting along well with her. And I mean, that's her own fault, really. But I think that she's looking forward to married life, and I'm sure she'll lord being a lady over the house of a household over people. So anyway. It's also All Hallows Eve, and so we are going to mourn at the grave of the great Gabriel Larkin, who was able to befriend the king and was able to get multiple titles and is just all around kind of a jerk. But he was a successful jerk. So there's that. And then we'll just quickly be thankful for each other. None of them want a grand meal, so I'm not inclined to make them have a grand meal. Although I realize now that I was trying to figure out why one of them had not the best reaction to the holiday, and I think that the problem is that we aged Cesaria up after I looked at her thing. I think now it wants her to have a grand meal. No? I don't know. I don't know why one of them wasn't satisfied. Everybody else was satisfied except for one of them. But that's fine. I wish everyone would also stop having little baby symbols over their heads, because I'm like, are you pregnant? Are you having a baby? But everything is okay. So there we go there, and then we are just going to invite over Apollonia. So Apollonia is Arthur's beloved. They are currently engaged despite some resistance from her family, because she has always spent so much time and energy into her family's estate, and they kind of took advantage of that from her. But now that she's engaged and she's kind of pushing back, she's being punished for it, not in any bad way, just kind of being pushed out of the management of the estate. And so she's really heartbroken over that, because she feels like she has worked so hard for so long for this place, and now they're just cutting her off from it, and she just feels really attached to it as someone who's taking care of that estate and their tenants and their people, and she just feels really attached to it, and she's just kind of being pushed out, and it really hurts her. And Arthur basically tells her, well, you don't have to worry, because we will build our jewelry empire together, and you can be my partner. We're going to be partners. You're not just going to be the lady of a house. You're going to be, running a business, and it's going to be great. So there's that. He's definitely, you know, making her feel better about the whole situation. So that's good. Honestly, I can't even remember which one of them is supposed to get married and which one is not. I have like a whole thing written up somewhere else, but yeah, okay, Arthur is going to get married. It's Thomas who's not supposed to get married. I'm so sorry, Thomas, but your life is not going to go well shortly. But for right now, it's going okay. Actually, it's not going okay because things still aren't going well, but at least everyone has a future, has a bright future ahead of them. Anyway, so then we have Olivia, who we know is in love with Lucas and is definitely sneaking out to see him and everything. She's been sneaking out all the time. And of course, that's one of the things without having like an adult in this household to wrangle these children. They're all just doing whatever they want, whenever they want. Like Gabriel II is not paying attention to what his siblings are doing or if they are, acting properly. I think he's very overwhelmed with everything that he does as like, with his titles and stuff. And he is kind of stressed about the whole thing, but he doesn't have time to watch like 10 siblings. So there is that. And then we have Olivia being caught out by her uncle, who is like, girl, what are you doing? But anyway, so I am going to have her propose to Lucas, and she's basically going to tell him like, I don't have to worry about marrying Lawrence Gainsford. Like my sister took care of it. We can get married, even though of course Lucas is not of a very high status. He is a gentleman still, though. But anyway, they just woohooed autonomously. I was gonna make them try for a baby. I was gonna get her pregnant anyway. But they woohooed autonomously, and then he left, and she did end up pregnant. So I was like, wow, that actually worked out exactly how I wanted it to, without me actually doing anything for it. But yes, so Olivia is now engaged in secret and pregnant, although she doesn't know she's pregnant yet, but she's she's engaged, and she is definitely going to run away with Lucas if Gabriel does not approve the marriage. I do not think Arthur would be wagering his estate. He wouldn't do that, so I'm going to fold. And then we do have 2 babies being born right now. Um, we have Allison Watson be born. That is Paulina and Emil, I believe. Yeah, Paulina and Emil's child. They have a few baby tries, quite a few. But the Landgrabs only have 1 baby try. It's a boy. Very exciting. We are going to see if our one Landgrab boy who is going to survive. Yes, he is Albert III, and he is the last surviving Landgrab boy here. So, obviously his father is still alive, but his father doesn't have any more baby tries. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. So the Landgrabs are done having babies, and I'm going to get Paulina pregnant again. And then we're going to head out and do a couple of other things because I have, of course, the vampire storyline going right now. So as soon as I update everything here, we're going to head out and head over to the vampire area. So we are going to start playing with Eleanor and her vampire family now that she is married. And we are going to actually have Eleanor come visit Newcrest because they are recruiting other occults against the king because he is anti-occult, and he is definitely trying to go after them because especially like the spellcasters have had a really bad relationship with the king, and so the vampires are thinking, well, they're probably going to join our side, right? Like they'll join us if we decide to fight against the king. So we're going to go to the main Gamal family and have everyone chat, and Eleanor is basically going to pitch to them, the king has been so cruel to you. He killed the Peacock family. Like, aren't you afraid that he's going to kill your family too? Like, we need to all band together and get occult rights in this world, and we're gonna fight against the king. And you hear all the stuff he's doing with the church, and he's pushing back against the church and all that stuff. So not good. And so, the Gamal family is in. They are definitely interested, especially after everything that's happened. And then they do mention that they have some relatives, but they're not spellcasters, but they do have some relatives over here with us, obviously, are Cassandra's children. So we're going to go meet Cassandra's children. Eleanor actually doesn't really know a lot of her family members anymore, or if she did know them in the past, they don't remember her. So she is going to chat with some of the other Gamal Gamal children who, have had a relationship with their families. Also, Olivia got caught. Like, it's reported in Whistledown that Olivia was woohooing. But yes, so Eleanor is basically going to come here and talk to the other Gamal children. They do have a relationship with their other family, and even though they've been being raised by Siobhan, they are aware of some of the things that go on. And then since we did have Genevieve and Absalon come with her to recruit different Sims, Genevieve is in here recruiting, is that Merrick? I don't know. But then Gabriel walks in because obviously we're all part of the same land here. And Gabriel walks in and she is like, hey. And she is basically immediately flirty, which I think is hilarious, but she's very flirty. And so they're going to talk and get a little flirty. And she's going to tell him that, she doesn't live around here. And she's going to be very vague, obviously, because, they've been told not to tell people about the whole vampire thing. But something definitely sparked there. And then also something sparked here. So Absalon is so Genevieve is one of the vampires that does like humans. So she's not bothered by being around all the humans and everything, but Absalon actually does not like humans and he doesn't respect them or anything. But then he sees Rosamund. So he sees Rosamund and she's beautiful and she's wonderful and he's like smitten immediately, but he doesn't really understand these feelings because she's a human and he thinks humans are gross. And so he's like really conflicted all of a sudden and he thinks to himself like, oh, I must just like want her as like a pet. And so he kidnaps her and takes her away, which is basically my way of not having to play with Rosamund also while so much other things is going on. But anyway, Rosamund's been kidnapped by vampires. So anyway, in the king's household, we have him getting a divorce from Catherine. He had the bishop declare him the head of the Church of England, and he can do whatever he wants now. I'm going to bring Anne Boleyn in. We're going to get her created. Of course, some people have uploaded some versions of her to the gallery, and that is very nice of them. So here she is, and I'm just going to quickly give her a makeover, and then we will also, she had a baby, Elizabeth, as well this year, so like, girl, she was already pregnant when she got married. No, I'm just kidding. It's very possible that she wasn't, since, there's 12 months in a year. But anyway, her and Henry have gotten married. She thinks she's so cool, and she does not know that she's going to be executed because she also failed to have a boy. And honestly, like, it's definitely Henry, right? We all agree that it's Henry that is the reason that all these children are not surviving. Like, it must be all of the inbreeding or something because, yeah. Anyway, so they have her, the future Queen Elizabeth. So that is really exciting. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So that is where we're going to wrap up today. I hope you guys are enjoying this. There's so much going on right now, but I am having so much fun juggling all these Sims at the same time. I think it's really great. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.